Hey guys, so tonight I'm gonna try to attempt to make some taro cookies. I kind of forgot to film me peeling it because mine has started to mold because I didn't take it out of the bag when I first bought it. So it's peeled, and I'll put a picture of it like here or here. It's peeled and the inside got a little bit soft, so I took out whatever I could with my own finger. Same as this one. Everything else feels sturdy, which is really hard. And if you didn't know, taro root is a starch. It has the same texture kind of like mashed potato. Well, not mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes once it's boiled. But as a potato, you know how potatoes are hard when they're raw. And it even has like this purple kind of like flecks in it or strings in it. But once it's cooked, it's more like a mashed potato, and it's a starch, so it's tastes like a potato. So, but I'm gonna dice it and boil it, and once it's boiled, you want to wait till it's tender, and you could poke a fork through it, and once you can do that, you're gonna go ahead and mash it. Now I'm following a recipe from this website's called the Skinny Pop. I don't know, I've never tried it, so this I guess is gonna be part of the is gonna pass or fail process, except I did not buy any ube flavoring, which is what this is supposed to be in to give it that ube flavor. But we're gonna try and see how it goes, and if I like the way it comes out, I'm definitely gonna buy some ube flavoring, and I'm gonna try either a cake or try this recipe again to make sure it's proper. I don't know if I have any food coloring that's purple, but I'll definitely have to check. But as of right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and dice it and put it to boil, and then since that's going to take a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and prepare all the other ingredients and everything. But besides that, let's start cutting. So here it is. I'm just going to go ahead and put some water in it and put it to boil and wait until they're fork tender. And it even leaves a white powdery on my hand like potatoes do. Let me get that boiling, and then I'll bring out all the ingredients. Okay, so for this recipe, I'm going to need some flour, brown sugar, regular sugar, powdered sugar, a room temperature egg, baking powder, some butter, and I'm going to go ahead and use some of these blueberries just because I have them to give it a little bit of color, because I don't have any food coloring, and maybe to give it a little bit of flavor to it. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go ahead and boil these in a little bit of sugar to make it more of like a syrup in it, so it could really bring out the flavor of it. And then from there we will see what I'm going to do with them, because I'm not too sure how to use it, so I'm just going to try. So if this recipe does not come out correctly, it'll definitely be my fault because I'm putting so much new factors into it. But we will definitely see how it comes out at the end of the night. So I'm just going to wash the blueberries and then put them in this pot with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of water. And hopefully it comes out. We will definitely see. And I'm going to add about 1/3 of a sugar for now. And then we will add more as we go along. while the taro root and the blueberries are boiling and becoming what they need to become, I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing the dry ingredients, which is just flour, baking powder, and salt. So let me go ahead and put that. So it's about 1.5 cups of flour. It's a cup. And this is the 4th. And I know I said I was going to add salt, but because I don't have any unsalted butter, I only have salted butter. I'm not going to add any salt to it, and hopefully it balances out at the end of the night. But this is the flour, and then I need a teaspoon of baking powder. So let's go ahead and whisk this together. Okay, so now for the butter and the sugar, they want me to do a standing alone mixer. I forgot what it's called, but I don't have one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the best that I can to combine the butter and the sugar to make it fluffy. So we will see how my arm feels at the end when I finish making the butter and the sugar mixture. I am gonna pop this into the microwave for a little bit because it is rock hard because it was in the freezer. But I'm gonna pop this in the microwave and then I'll come back to you guys and show you guys what I've made so far. Before I put the butter in the microwave, I'm just gonna go ahead and test this out and see how it comes out. And I'm pretty sure, let's see. Yes, it is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. I'm gonna wait until the blueberries are almost done so I could go ahead and puree them and then put them into the mixture and let that cool off before I continue making the cookies. Okay, so the blueberries are done. So I'm just gonna pour it into this cup right here. And then I'm gonna immersion blend them. And depending on how they come out, if it has a lot of skin, I'm gonna go ahead and push them through the sifter right here, so get it as creamy as possible and as because you know how like the blueberry skins are kind of tough to chew on and everything. So I'm gonna do my best to do it, and then I'm gonna put this sifter, and then this I'll put into the taro root, and then I'll blend the taro root and let that cool while I work on the rest of the stuff. Kind of squeezed out as much as I possibly can of the blueberries. This is basically also how you make jams. You just kind of put them to boil, put a little bit of sugar and water in it. You get some jams. I'm trying to squeeze out as much as I can from the actual skins. But I think we have more than enough in that bowl underneath. But these are the, let me see. These are the skins, and it's basically just the pulp. And I know it has a lot of fiber in it, so I don't want to waste it. So I'll have to figure out what to do with it later on tonight. But this is what we got. It's just a very nice thick red color. Hopefully this is enough to give it a nice color to the taro. So next I have to strain the taro, pat it dry, and then blend it. So that's what I'm going to do after this. Let me just go ahead and clean out my spoon and everything since it has all the skins on there, and I don't want that to mix with what I have now. So let me go ahead and do that now. So I was not aware that the blueberries are going to stain my wooden spoon. So if you have a problem with it staining, I suggest using metal or rubber, which I should have listened to myself earlier, but I did not know. So I'm going to try and soak this and see if it comes out. So I learned my lesson, and I'm going to go ahead and use a metal bowl instead of a plastic one, because I was going to use a plastic white bowl, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to dry as much as I can off of this, but it's basically mush, so I might have cooked it for a little too long. And I think I only boiled it for maybe 10-15 minutes until I saw that it was soft. So then I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my bowl. Okay, so here's the blueberry going in. Hopefully this is enough to give it a nice flavor and also a nice color. We won't know until later, once the cookies are actually done. Moments like this, I really wish that my my rubber spatula did not break, because this would have been great to be able to get these last bits. Oh, actually, go ahead and like scrape off what I can off of this. I think you might have some rubber spatula still here. Yes, hopefully these don't stay. I mean, I don't think they should, but I don't know. We're definitely going to try. Get every last drop of this blueberry out of here. Perfect. And then I'm going to puree it, and let's see how, hopefully it comes out how I am picturing it to come out. Okay, so it is super late, so I'm just going to do that, and I pureed it as much as I can. I mean, it smells really good. It kind of smells like corn, though. So we'll see how it tastes. And there's nothing in here that's like poisonous or dangerous to eat raw, so I'm just going to go ahead and taste it here in a second. I just want to give it one last mix of all the blueberries that are stuck on the side of it. And I'm actually pretty pleased with the color that it came out. It's just going to be a little bit deceiving because it's not that taro flavor, but it's fine. Let's see. Wait till you guys see this color. This came out perfect. I couldn't have, I mean, I wish I would have gotten taro, but this color is just beautiful. Let me show you guys. It is kind of clumpy, but I think it should be fine since the taro itself doesn't have a lot of flavor in it. I don't think that if you get a couple of clumps, I don't think it should make too much of a difference, but it's my first time trying it out, so hopefully it doesn't. Look at this color. I say that's pretty darn close if you ask me. It's a nice like purple color. Look at that. I think it's pretty nice. Let me go ahead and taste it. It kind of tastes like sweet potato. So hopefully when I mix the flour and all the sugar and everything in here, it gives it a different taste to it. But it's not a bad taste, it's just not cookie worthy if you ask me. But we'll work with what I got. And the next time that I try to make a recipe with this, I'm definitely gonna have to buy the the ube extract, so I could give it that ube flavor. But it's not bad. I'm definitely gonna have to add a little bit more sugar to it. This is the final result. I'm gonna work on the butter with the sugar and trying to hand mix it because, well, I do have a whisk with it. I want to try doing that with the whisk and see how that comes out first. And letting this cool because this has to be completely cool before I can do anything with it. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it in the refrigerator so I could speed cool it. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna saran wrap it real fast. It also doesn't help that's in a metal container, but we work with what we got, right? While this is cooling, I'm also gonna work on cleaning up some of these stuff because this is a little chaotic even for me. I've worked in the kitchen for about 9 years and I'm used to it being nice and clean and organized, and this is making my head hurt. So I'm gonna try and clean up real quick and then I'll start working on the butter and the sugar and getting that done so I could go ahead and combine everything else, and hopefully this is cooled by then. I don't know how long it's gonna take and it's already midnight, so hopefully not too long. But let me pop this in the fridge real quick. Okay, so for the butter, it's literally just sugar and butter, mix it until it's fluffy and pale in color. So I already have the butter, and I need 1/4 of a cup of sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, this actually comes with an attachment. Comes with this attachment. Here. Perfect. 1/4 cup of sugar. Let's see. So I think this might be fluffy. I don't know. I'm just gonna work with it and hopefully it comes out correctly. So now that this is done, so I add the egg and then I beat it for a minute. And then once I add the egg to it, then I combine it with the flour and all of that. So let's go ahead and add the egg. Okay, so this looks fluffier than it was before, so maybe I just had to wait for the egg. But then I just have to take this out of here, put it in the bowl, combine, and then I combine the ube. Or I think I combine this with the ube. Let me see. Okay, so I mix this into the ube and then mix it all together for a minute, and then I incorporate it to the flour. So let me get the ube out of the fridge. So it doesn't say that it needs to cool all the way, it just says to set aside. So, I mean, it's still warm. So, I'm gonna go ahead and add this to it. It smells amazing. And I did beat the egg to it for about a minute. Now this doesn't say, it also says to mix it for about a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this in for a minute, and then I will add it to the rest of the mixture. I'm gonna start slow, and then I'm gonna slowly start going faster, just so it doesn't go everywhere. So by beating it, it definitely took away a little bit of that nice purple color, but hopefully they come out somewhat purple. So I need to add the brown sugar here, I'm assuming, because it doesn't say to add it anywhere else. So I'm assuming we just add it to this. I'm going to go ahead and add it. Alright, so I'm going to quickly and slowly incorporate the batter in slowly, a little bit at a time, and then mix it, and then incorporate some more, so like that I can have a little bit more control over it. So I think the batter might have came out a little bit wet because of the blueberries that I added. So I'm going to add a little bit of flour to it and then mix it in, and then let's see how it comes out. Literally just a little bit at a time, just because you don't want to put too much. And then since this is all that we have, I can't add more. So let's go. So I like to check underneath to see if there's any more flour. There's a tiny bit, so I'll go ahead and try and get the most of it out. I think this will work, and if it doesn't work, it's my fault because I didn't put enough flour in it. But this is the consistency, kind of thick. So I'm gonna preheat the oven to 350, pop it in, and I think it cooks for about 12 minutes, depending how big the cookies are. So about 12 to 20 minutes, I'm gonna see, I don't know the size that I'm gonna make them in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this oven preheated, get a cooking sheet, and then you guys will see me be able to make the cookies, and hopefully they come out okay. Fingers crossed. So she did find me some purple food dye coloring, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it, and let's see how purple we can get this. Now it is gel, so hopefully I didn't add too much. So we did end up adding a little bit more food color, but I think this is the color that we're gonna stick with just because it is kind of purpley, very purpley. But the oven is heating. Let me just get a tray. In a sense that I don't have to spray the tray, but I'm still gonna spray it just because I know my luck, and I know that if I don't spray it, it's gonna stick and it's gonna be a pain in the butt to scoop it off. But let me go ahead and get the tray, line it, spray it, and then I'm gonna start scooping it and trying to form it into a cookie. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it works. She tried a little bit of it and she said that it tastes like sugar cookies. I'm not too sure, so we will see when they come out. This is what they look like now. They're kind of sliding around because of the butter. Let me go ahead and pop in the oven, and then I'll see you guys back when I finish doing all of this. I don't know. They're still soft. So I'm gonna give them about 10-15 minutes to cool off and do what it's gotta do. I'm actually gonna take them off of the tray, put them on a plate to let them cool, and then we'll see. I've cooked them so far for about 20 minutes, and hopefully that's enough, but they're quite big, so maybe they are starting to burn a little bit on the edge. But I'm gonna let them cool for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll come back, see how long this cooked. If it needs to cook longer, I'll put it back in, so like that I know how long to cook the next batch. But then I'll see you guys once they've cooled off. So they have cooled, and then they're this cool purple color. Let me go ahead and see if they change texture. So they do taste good, but the center of it is still a little, what would you call it? Doughy? No. It's still a little like gummy. But I guess that's that like ube texture. I guess it's kind of like ube. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish cooking the rest of the batter. I'm gonna cook them for maybe 20 minutes. And see, I like the way that this texture is. I think it's pretty good. We might finish the ones that I made right now, so. But I did notice that, let me see. It does have like this, I don't know if it's the oil or the way that I had placed it on the plate, but did get a little bit soft here. So that's something to know about, but they're really good. I enjoy them. I'm definitely gonna be making more, actually using the taro root right away as I buy it. We're gonna definitely finish most of these cookies tonight, but thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.